Hey, everybody, welcome to the ReCoop. I'm Cooper Daniels, and I'm a guy that knows a little about a lot. And today I am here with Clifford. He is the co-founder and CEO of Alchemon. It's a play-to-earn trading card game on the Algorand blockchain. How you doing, Clifford?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I just kind of pulled that example of what it is out of my, is that true? Is a play to earn trading card game? Is that an okay way to put it?
Yeah, totally. That's
Okay.
actually what it was to begin with. It was just going to be cards that you collected and traded. And, I called it a game because, I figured, there were boundaries, rules, purposes. So I called it a game. And,
Hmm.
the feedback that we got from day one is, where's the gameplay? Where's the gameplay? And that's how it all turned into a video game. But yeah, it definitely just started as staking, collecting, and earning.
Yeah. Okay. So let's rewind a little bit before we
Yep.
kind of get into, because today I want people to, if anything, I want people to learn about it, but also maybe how to participate. Like that's my goal of this conversation is like maybe demystify something like this. Because personally, with me, when it comes to these types of things, I start to get like, I don't know how to jump in. I'm like fearful of jumping in for some reason because I don't know, and I feel like I'll lose, and then all my money will disappear, and I'm a little paranoid.
Yeah.
But all right, so okay, so let's go back. How long has Alchemon been in existence? Let's start there real quick.
Yeah. So August of 2021. Our
Okay.
first release was at the end of August.
So you guys have been around for a while. And is it true to say that you guys have the highest NFT volume on
Yeah,
Algorand? That is true, right?
yeah, definitely. We have multi-mints, so they're not all one of ones.
Right.
Technically, they're considered fractional NFTs, but
Got it.
just to keep things simple, we still call it, an NFT game. But technically, they're fractional NFTs. Multi-mints is what we like to call them.
Hmm.
And so there's a lot of, so yeah, we just have a ton of volume just because we mint a ton of each card. So everyone, something that we walked into this wanting to do was to allow everyone to get into an NFT project and not like it has to be a one of one unique or else you don't have anything, So that's something
Yeah.
that we set out to go against once we started this.
Got it. Okay. So let's start with just telling everybody a little bit about you and how you came to Alchemon and Algorand in general.
Yeah, so I was getting into investing, and that brought me over to crypto. And then
Hmm.
through Coinbase Reward, I started stacking some Algorand. And I'm a pretty tech savvy guy. I was
Hmm.
working at a coding boot camp, teaching people how to code before this.
Hmm.
I'm no professional developer myself, but and so I wanted to actually try the blockchains of what I invested in. And so I did
Right.
that. I started with Algorand because that was giving me interest right out of Coinbase.
Hmm.
And I found it and used it. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. I had a great experience. And I was like, yeah, this blockchain is definitely the future. Then I
Hmm.
tried a few other blockchains and it was terrible. It was absolutely horrible. Just had a bad experience. And I was like, okay, well, looks like I struck gold on my first one. So kind of just
Nice.
became an Algorand maxi from there on and haven't looked back.
Yeah. What year is this? I
This is like,
remember the Algo Coinbase rewards actually, but it was a while.
yeah, I just got to the point in my life where starting to invest basically as soon as the GME and GameStop thing blew up. So
Yeah,
that brought
that's
me
it.
to investing through Robinhood, which brought me
Yeah.
to Dogecoin, which,
All right.
like the initial investor of like, oh, Bitcoin, $36,000 for a Bitcoin. I'll never get one of those. So I'm just going
Yeah.
to, ignore that completely.
Yeah.
Um, and so then just talking with some friends about it and then realized that yes, Bitcoin is better than Dogecoin, and then
Yeah.
realizing that Coinbase is better than Robinhood. So then I went over there and saw all the different technologies. Before it was just investing, Dogecoin, no to Bitcoin, then over to Coinbase, and that's how I found Algorand.
Yeah. So there you go. That's an example of how this works properly. You were a tech savvy guy that wasn't really into investing. And then it was, GameStop and Dogecoin kind of piqued your interest. You're like, oh, wait, so people are making money here. Like, let's figure this out. Right.
Yeah,
And then you did it. And then you started to learn and oh, wait a second, I'm going to build something. And then you got Alchemon. So I take it that you're somebody that has been did you play with Pokemon cards as a young guy or
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I was at the age where, Pokemon wasn't cool for my age group, but I still played it anyways,
Nice.
just like through puberty years where it was like, it was cool for a couple of years. Then I had to outgrow it or else, I would,
Yeah.
the
You
girls
could,
would ignore me.
but you did
So
it. You stood strong and kept on playing.
that's right.
No, I've been like, cause before we chatted a little bit and I was like, a Pokemon like came right after, people were playing with magic cards and stuff. I didn't really get into that, but Pokemon was a little late. And then my son recently has gotten into it. I was like, all right, this is my time. This is my time to figure out Pokemon. So I've been having fun with him on that.
Yeah.
But all right. So there's obviously a Pokemon inspiration here.
Oh,
Right.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fat homage, right?
Yeah.
So basically what the Ethereum network's NFT space is basically a couple of years ahead of the Algorand NFT
Mm-hmm.
space. And
Yep.
so while I was getting into NFTs on Algorand, I was reading, press releases and news reports on Ethereum. And the two
Right.
things that really stuck out is, a Hollywood talent agency signed someone that owned a bunch of CryptoPunks. Like they signed some random person that owned NFTs to manage his talent, which was crazy to me. It literally makes no sense.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like as an actor, I struggled to get a high profile agent for how many years, but if I were just smart enough to buy like some Bored Apes, I could get, I could get William Morris. Is this what you're telling me?
Yep.
Amazing.
I mean, I think that was kind of a wild, random thing. I don't think it's happened often, but that was definitely like something I read at the time. And then the other thing at the time that Ethereum people were trying to figure out was how do we extract value out of these NFTs without selling them, which, is kind of a big deal. Like if you own one NFT, like for example, I owned one Goanna, how do I, like, obviously with version 2, I'm going to get some more Goannas for owning that, which is awesome. But how do I see value outside of that? The only way is by selling it, which I could sell it and make a huge profit, but I don't want to, So then the question that we were trying to answer when coming up with this is how do we provide value, but you don't have to sell? And so that's how we came up with the token. And this token is definitely something that was completely worthless and, at the time. And then Tiny Man came out and people started trading it. And so it's got some value now.
Yeah. All right. So let's unpack all this. So, so just to be clear, though, before we move on, you started this project on Algorand because a lot of times you hear like maybe somebody tried it over at Ethereum and like realized, wait, the gas is terrible. You figured all this out before you launched.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, this wouldn't have been possible on other blockchains. I mean, I guess Solana and AVAX were around. Those are the only other two blockchains I could think that something like this would even be possible. But like, for example, we send like, a week, we send 22,000 drops of Alchecoin every week. And that's not to mention all the evolutions we're sending out and stuff. We probably do 5,000 to 10,000 transactions a week. It's just wouldn't be possible, on Ethereum. We would have to basically charge 10 times as much just for gas fees.
Yeah. So it doesn't work. All right.
Yeah.
And then so how many are on your team? How many co-founders are there?
Me and my wife are the co-founders, Maxine.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, we came up with this together. And then on the team, there's basically 9.5 employees, 1 part-time. So yeah.
Cool. And are you and your wife the artist behind it, or do you have an artist? Do you have a separate artist?
We have a separate artist. We have actually a couple artists now. We have our Alchemon artist that we work closely with. Maxine, she comes up with all the ideas and the types and the names and things like that. But basically, we're not good artists, so we pay someone who definitely, their whole career is making these things. Yeah. So, and then we also, I don't know if many people know this, but like we hired on Magical, who is an NFT artist in Portland, and he has his own projects, but he's responsible for probably 95% of the look and feel and the art in the game. So all the game boards he did and all that stuff. So we hired him on part-time. So he does work for us along with doing his own projects.
Cool. All right. So, okay. So for anybody out there that has no idea what Alchemon is, can you just break it down in the simplest way possible?
Yeah, totally. It's probably just it's a play to earn game
Hmm.
where you stake, evolve, and battle your Alchemon to earn tokens.
Yep. There it is.
That's,
That's
that's probably the
exactly
simplest way.
the simplest way. And so basically what you do is you get like a starting three, right? So I'm going to put up three Alchemon against another three Alchemon that are of a similar rarity. And there's some sort of battle. And then you earn Alka coin or Alka gold.
Alka
There's two
right
coins.
now, yeah, there's two tokens. So right now you earn Alka coin. That will
Mhm,
be switching over to Alka gold. So basically, once you get your first three Alchemon, once you buy those,
mhm,
which you can get at our store or find at the aftermarket, things like that.
mhm.
But once you get your first three, then you can download the game. You log in, create an account, log in. Then with Wallet Connect, you connect up your wallet, and
Mhm.
then you go and choose what Alchemon you want to use to battle, and then you'll be
Mhm.
faced with the AI opponent that you'll have to
Mhm.
battle against. And if you win, you get two Alka coin. We're definitely calling it our beta. It's what we call in the industry an MVP, a minimum viable product. It's something that's
Okay.
like, it is a release. It does work, but it's
Yeah.
definitely not like, we're not like, yes, we're proud of this, calling this one entire video game, So we're working on version 1 right now,
Right.
which will add a bunch of awesome features, which will have basically ASA attacks. So the
Mhm.
attacks you can add on to the Alchemon for the battles will be their own NFTs that users can buy with Alchecoin and attach on to their Alchemon
Oh,
for battles.
oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, that'll give them the edge, if you will. Have some better attacks than the opponents.
Right.
And then we'll be switching over the economics to rewarding Alka Gold. So the basic reason of how this works out is Alka Coin is the governance token, and that's
Right.
what's earned outside of the video game. So
Got
just
it.
for holding, just for having some Alchemon, and then having the stake flag and Alka Coin approved every week, you'll get dropped Alka Coin just for holding
Mhm.
on to the NFTs.
Right.
So then that's kind of the outside of the game economics. So we'll be switching over the in-game economics. You go in, you spend Alka coin, and then by
Right.
winning battles and stuff, you earn Alka gold. So then
Got it.
that allows Alchemon Inc. to earn back the Alka coin. So then we can continue to drop it to people every week just for holding.
There you go. That sounds like a good plan. And then eventually, so then the Alka Gold will be the utility token, eventually inside the video game.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be giving that out in the game for wins, and then we eventually want to do some DeFi stuff with that. We basically want to probably will be early to mid next year. We definitely want to have like a way for up and coming games to like give us assets for promotion, and then like stake your Alka Gold and earn that. So
Mhm.
basically, we kind of want to like turn it into like the DeFi GameFi token.
Right. Okay. So then the beta that you have currently, which I'm going to dive into after this conversation, is it's pretty simple the way it's working right now, right? So it's a very bare bones version of the game that you guys have envisioned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely works, and it's definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy. It's not like what I do is like I imagine like okay, so a play to earn game shouldn't just be like you click a couple buttons. Like it shouldn't be like you're going into AlgoFi to claim rewards. You just press a button. Like we've never
Right.
envisioned that as a game. So
Yeah.
what we did was we definitely made it difficult. We tried to balance it as much as possible, and it's not just you click a couple buttons and win. Like you're going to be spending a couple minutes battling. Our
Hmm.
timeline is like 3 to maybe 5 minutes max of a battle, and I think most are coming in around 3 minutes. The
Right.
games, and then you get rewarded for playing.
Right. And yeah, because I mean, look, if it were as easy as just clicking a button and then it's just random if you win or not, that's not so fun, right?
Yeah,
There should be some level of knowing the game and being able to have an advantage because you know what you're doing.
yeah,
Type of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the most validating thing is that players have started creating I guess guides, cheat sheets, things like that to be able to win
Yeah.
more see it on Twitter, like people posting like who's weak against what, if you're facing this, who you should use, and things like that.
I mean, come on.
It's really awesome to see stuff like that, like the community, like, coming together and creating these things and showing that it's not just you go in and press a couple buttons.
Yeah. And you have, I think, over 3,000 people in your Discord already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have 3,045, humans. Who knows if they're all human, but
right.
We have I say non-confirmed bots.
Non-confirmed bots. But there are several active players in there, because even somebody that isn't very active in your community yet, I have a lot of people being like, when are you going to talk to Alchemon? Like, come on, man. Like, let's go. Like, there's a lot of excitement about the game. And I'm just noticing, like, there's also, what is it? The Fractal Monsters. Like, I think it's really fun for me to see like these your game and that game. And like, there seems to be an energy for this, because obviously Algorand is the right chain to do something like this. Like you're saying, you're trying to drop that many tokens to that many addresses weekly or whatever. And then, swapping and the cards and all the things, like it's a lot easier when it's cheap, and fast and doesn't fork and all the great things that we like to repeat,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. I couldn't imagine doing it, on another chain. That would just be a nightmare, Yeah, and we're definitely like something that we're trying to do is, so basically this project has been grown by the community more than anything, like I've underestimated, demand and value the whole way along, just because, we have a wild community that, they're buying everything we drop, and, it goes crazy. So anyway, so I've been like,
so you guys have been like, all right, this will be enough. And then you're like, oh my gosh, we need to figure out how to make this so we can get more people in, because our guys are so excited about it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but how it grew was, we definitely have not done everything perfectly, I guess the best way to describe it is, I still do some things manually. I still send transactions manually and things like that.
Yeah.
So the one thing that is missing is like the exact guardrails. So that's what we're working on now. We have smart contracts. Our first smart contracts got audited and approved, and we're working on more. So basically what I'm saying is the guardrails soon, probably in the next 1, 2, maybe 3 months, we're working on the guardrails so someone can just go and everything will be perfect. It's all smart contracts. It's all like, press this button, what's going to happen, and it's going to happen, and there's no questions about it. So that's something that we're really excited about, because basically right now you have to delve in at this point. You have to go in, you have to talk in the Discord, you have to get your questions answered, even though it is all on the website, just the website has a ton of stuff on there. Yeah. So we are really working on like the exact guardrail. So someone that, maybe knows nothing, they can still just walk in, and be able to press all the buttons.
Yeah. That makes sense. And so, how long beta has been live for a couple of months, like since February? Am I right about that?
We had a closed beta that was, I think, launched in January. Yes. Okay. But this wide beta we just launched a couple weeks ago. I think. Oh, okay. Maybe, so this is maybe even 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so this is brand new.
So our version 1, like our first, yes, we launched a full video game that we're shooting for the end of Q2. Which is, 2.5 months away. So there's still a lot of barriers and things we're working through, but we're still planning to do that. We, the one thing that is proving more difficult is, so each release has had to be downloaded on its own. Right. And we want this next version to be the last download you have to do, which is, proving a little more difficult than we thought, but this will give us patching features and things that'll just like, you can update the game instead of downloading a new version. So that's something we're working really hard on right now. So we just have to get that fully debugged and done. And as long as that goes to plan, then we'll be out at the end of Q2 for our full video game.
Nice. So you are on your 4th set of the NFT cards, correct?
That's right. There's only 60 Alchemon in existence right now.
There's only 60 Alchemon in it. So how many Alchemon in each set?
15. So there's so there's 4 commons, then those all evolve up to 4 uncommons, and those all evolve up to 4 rares, and then those 2 of each, the 2 first rares, they craft into an epic, and the third and fourth rares, they craft into a different epic, and then those two epics craft up to a legendary.
And then how many of each NFT card are there? Like how many commons, or is it uniform across commons and each rarity, the quantity?
No, it's so we grow with the community. So for example, our first set 1, only had 585 total NFTs over 15 cards. So the second set we doubled to about 1,200 over 15 NFT cards. Then we went up to like 6,700 in set 3. 6,700 in set 3, which was like a 5x. And those sold out way faster than we expected. So then we just, like I mentioned before, I always underestimate everything. So with set 4, we just minted a ton. We minted, I think, 80,000 total NFT cards across 15 Alchemon. So a bunch of those are still reserved for in-game rewards, which when we come with in-game evolutions, then those will get dispersed inside the video game in version 1. So we just have a ton of set 4, but all the legendaries, all the epics are crafted out, so they'll have to be earned in game if people want to still get them, and then we'll be moving on to more sets.
Wow. Yeah. So when is set 5?
Set 5. So we have something coming before set 5, which we may still see this month, maybe early next month. We have a special, I've alluded to it before, a special community set. And then we're expecting set 5 to be late next month, or even maybe even June, early June.
Okay. So it's coming soon.
Yeah, we have a lot of Alchemon on the horizon. It's actually been our longest period ever without releasing new Alchemon, and I'm definitely feeling it, man. We need to get some more creatures out there.
People are ready for it.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just real quick. Let's. I mean, we've kind of covered it, but I want to do it anyways. So let's say I have 5 common Alchemon in my ALGO wallet right now, because I do. Okay. And so what is so the first thing I should do is add the Alchecoin asset ID. So I'm earning Alchecoin, right?
That and the stake flag. So what the stake flag is it just, you're basically opting into wallet staking. So basically what it does is our bot finds everyone that has approved the stake flag, and then it goes through, sees all the Alchemon in those wallets, and disperses the Alchecoin equivalent to what you should earn for the Alchemon you have. So you definitely want to do the Alchecoin and the stake flag, and then you'll get weekly drops. We call it wallet staking, and it just gets sent to your wallet automatically.
And so the stake flag is something that, how do you do the stake flag?
It's on the website under wallet staking. It's also in the Discord and stuff.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
it's pretty straightforward. And so, and then I also, is this something from the past? Maybe as I was kind of like navigating everything, can you send your Alchemon to an address, and then if for a week, and then you send back a more evolved card?
Yeah, exactly. So we call it the training grounds. So basically you stake your Alchemon for a week, and that just you send it to a wallet, and then wait a week, and you have to make sure that, because on Algorand you have to approve any asset that you would receive. So then you have to make sure you approve the evolved version. So like if you send in a common, you make sure you approve the uncommon version. And then after a week, we have a bot that goes through all the transactions and sends out the evolved Alchemon. So it's basically a free way to evolve. So there's 2 ways to evolve. There's that way, which is free. You just have to stake it for a week. And then there is a more expensive way, which we call quick evolving, which happens instantly, but you need 2 of the same Alchemon. So for example, let's take Zip. So you need 2 Zips, and we charge 1 algo, and then you go do an atomic transfer on our website. You go and do an atomic transfer, and you instantly get the uncommon version Zipidal. But you're trading in 2 cards and 1 algo for that fast evolution.
Got it. And then you can do it the free way, where you send Zip to that address, and then you add the evolved Zip, and in a week it'll come to you.
Exactly.
And you're sacrificing the Alchecoin reward for that week to do that, right?
Yeah. But you'll then earn more in the future, because you'll have a higher value card, a higher rarity.
Got it. So it makes sense for somebody like me that is still figuring out how to do this to probably send my Alchemon to this address and stake for a week and get some, some better cards or more evolved cards.
Get some more beefy cards. Because basically with the video game, it's the commons are not as powerful, so the games can really grind on with the commons. We always match the AI is matched with what cards you have. So if you bring in 3 commons, the computer will have 3 commons, but it's still like, they have much lower attack values and things like that. So the games can grind on a little longer. And if you want to earn more Alchecoin faster, you're definitely going to want to upgrade those cards.
Right. Now, is the idea in the future is it always going to be like me versus a computer? Or if this grows to be such a huge thing, is the idea that you'll be facing real people, or is that not necessary?
Okay, definitely. Ahead. We're already working on that. So the PvP, we definitely are going to have that. I think the 2 things that people are definitely most excited for are the PvP and the mobile releases, which we still both plan to have this year. I think Q3 and Q4. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we're definitely working on those 2 things. And we plan to get this mobile and we plan to get this PvP. And we have some cool ideas of what to do with PvP to make it, make the stakes a little higher and stuff like that. You'll have to enter with Alchecoin, and the loser gets nothing. The winner gets, Alcha Gold for winning. And
that's cool. And so this isn't like if I'm going to battle with this computer, you're not going to be burning my NFTs if I lose. I'm not going to be. I don't. You just don't win. So losing, and as it stands right now, you just don't win. There's a winner, and then there's a guy that stays the same.
Exactly. So you can take 3 potions in each game, like health potions, attack potions, speed potions, like stat increase potions, things like that. You can bring 3 of those and use 3 of those in the game. So and those each right now cost 1 Alchecoin each. Again, very cheap. We're just making sure that all this stuff works, and like I said, with our MVP, so we're proving that we have a game and that it works. So that's what it is right now. So worst case scenario is you go in, you buy 3 potions, you use those 3 potions and lose, and then you're out 3 Alchecoin, which your win is 2 Alchecoin. So that's like the worst case scenario is you waste 3 Alchecoin on potions and lose a match.
Yeah. Is there further down in the roadmap a more cutthroat version of this game, or is that the idea to kind of keep it like almost no loss a little bit?
That's something that I would leave up to the community. I've never been a fan of burning or, taking people's NFTs away for Alchemon. I think, I've thought of like crazy ideas of just like, when Squid Games is huge, just like a wild Squid Games, like one person wins everything, everyone else loses, and that was the flavor of the week. But that's definitely not something I have ever envisioned or built into Alchemon. But the best thing about Alchemon is that Alchecoin is a governance token, and we do want to have on-chain voting before the year is up. And we can make the users of Alchemon decide where it goes, which is I'll be happy when I have to stop making the decisions and all the community is making all the decisions.
Right. You seem like, from my impression is though, you guys are listening to the community pretty closely. So you're trying to do right by the community, but yeah, you're like, all right, but nothing's perfect when you have to make all the decisions. And
yeah, exactly. The community definitely. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say nothing's perfect when the community does it either, but at least it can't blame you for it, right?
Exactly. I want the weight of the world off my shoulders. Trust me.
I get it. So so you're gonna have a mobile app for the game by the end of this year. The idea is, huh?
That's the plan.
I mean, come on, how cool! I mean, that's got to be people got to be excited about that. I mean, that seems like that could really kind of progress this pretty quickly. It's already moving so fast. Getting an app is going to make it so much fun and like accessible, and I think that'll be good at onboarding a lot of players.
Yeah, we're super stoked about it. So basically, we're going to do app like Android. It's much easier to develop on. We're really doing really well on that. iPhone, we're having a little issues with, but just stuff that we have to work through. That's what the developers get paid for, and we intend to release both before the end of the year. And we're very excited. After that, once we get it in the app stores, we are going to be developing and releasing a story mode, which will basically onboard people, even if they know nothing about Algorand, they know nothing about blockchain. We plan to have a story mode that we will be the custodians of their assets and wallet, their Alchemon, their Alchecoin, and we'll hold on to that. And through the story, they'll learn and, you know, start to understand blockchain and play to earn more and things like that. And then once they're ready, we can give them all of their assets, give them their wallet, and basically go from nothing to wanting to play a play to earn game, which who knows what people think that is out in the real world, but they'll want to do that. They'll find Alchemon and then they'll be onboarded into Algorand. So that's definitely a story mode plan that we have that we're super excited for.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like, yeah, I think most people understand that you can play a game and earn some sort of game token. I think that we all kind of get that, but then it's like, as you start to realize, oh, wait, these tokens can actually be traded for, you know, money, you know, you could take, you could go to Tiny Man and swap Alchecoin for USDC right now, right? That's the way that's going. So people will start to learn that, and this is a good way to kind of, like you said, onboard people into blockchain, and then eventually they can, you know, grow. You know, they get their driver's license and they can go drive in the world. You know, with their own wallet.
Yeah, we're super stoked for that, just to be able to just promote to people. And, you know, we're not, then also we won't be confined to just people who know what Algorand is and already have an algo wallet. So we're super pumped about that.
Nice. All right. So the Alchecoin is going to be a governance token. Are you guys, so you're planning like a full on like DAO type of structure for Alchemon in the future?
Yeah, I will be leading that way. We don't really call it a DAO, but sure, I guess it could be considered that.
In some, you're still going to be, so there's still going to be a structure where you and your wife are at the top here. You're not handing this completely over to the community. You're handing the decision-making over to the community in a lot of ways.
Exactly. So it'll evolve. So basically, probably for the foreseeable future, probably for the next 2 years, I can't imagine it being sooner, where we will make the community make all the hard decisions. But we do have the opportunity. It's just not easy with a gaming company because we have, you know, even if we gave over like all the decisions of Alchemon, who's going to write the code for the video game? Like, like it's still our team that's writing the code. So it will turn into, the first phase is all we are doing is executing what the community wants.
Got it.
Getting to that next phase of the community decides everything, even who's going to code it and if it will be us or if it won't be us. That's like, there's so many unanswered questions that we'll just have to see where kind of DAOs evolve and where this all goes. But we're totally open to, you know, having, you know, whoever has the most Alchecoin, you know, voting and choosing what happens.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It does seem like a situation that you don't want to rush to with, because the game needs to be built and people need to be paid to build it, and you want the right people to do it. And, you know, I mean, if you rush to a decision like that, then all of a sudden it might could turn into something else, and then it just, whatever, it's not sustainable possibly.
It's still in its infancy in the grand scheme of things, so we definitely need to grow it up a bit. And you know, we have no problem handing over the reins once the time comes.
Yeah, I know I'm a little slow. You're like, you've used the word evolve and grow, and I'm like, oh, alchemy. Oh, okay, Alchemon. I was like, oh, it's because it's evolving and growing and changing. So it's like it's a mashup between alchemy and Pokemon. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, you know what? It only took me 35 minutes to get there, but I got that. Oh, that's impressive. All right, and then you pretty much described it. Then there's the Alka Gold, which will be the utility token. So what else should we cover before we wrap up here? Please.
Yeah, long-term vision. We definitely want to build a metaverse. So right now we're in our seed round, and that should be closing really soon. That gives us enough security, you know, for about a year to continue to do what we're doing and not have to like grind out sales from our community. That's one of the reasons, you know, some of the releases have slowed down. It's like we don't need that money to keep going. So now we're kind of taking a more a more relaxed, like what is best for the community. Like, yes, people want to buy things and we appreciate that about our people, but like, we don't have to sit there and grind and be like, what can we sell today to make sure we make payroll, you know? So we're in a really good position right now of just building and building. But yeah, we're definitely going to be getting some more releases out soon. Long-term visions. We want to do a future round just for metaverse building, so we can hire on, you know, hopefully another like 10 developers just to build out a metaverse and 3D art and all that stuff. And yeah, so then
come on. So what is that? So humor me a little bit more on that. So how does that look? How does an Alchemon metaverse look?
Okay, good. So I'll humor you. Okay, so you know how right now you send a card to a wallet to evolve it.
Yeah.
Good. So in the metaverse, you would walk over to the training grounds and hand over your Alchemon that you want to train for a week. You know, we're talking like 3D Alchemon. You know, you walk over your Alchemon, you turn it in, and it goes to the training grounds, and you can see your Alchemon, you know, whatever, in a farm or forest or field or whatever, you know, playing and training and doing whatever. And then you go to a Coliseum or wherever, and you battle people in 3D. So all the attacks have their own unique animations, and you're fighting people in 3D with your own avatar. So that's kind of like the bare bones. You know, we definitely want to have like, there's 10 different types of Alchemon, like fire, earth, bug. So we want to have like 10 different zones, and you can buy land in each of those zones. You know, and just crazy things like if you battle on, you know, in the fire part of the world, your fire type Alchemon will be more powerful there, you know, just all kinds of crazy stuff. We have no shortage of wild ideas that we'd love to put to use. It's just a matter of funding them all.
Yeah. How many developers do you have?
We have one full-time smart contract developer and one contracted part-time smart contract developer. So we basically have 1.5 that just do smart contracts. And then game developers, we have CTO, lead developer, and then 2 other developers. So all 4 of them are full-time on the game. And then we're hiring one more part-time developer on the game here in a couple weeks. So yeah, so 4.5 on the game almost, and then 1.5 just on smart contracts and the outside stuff of the game.
So you've got a serious team behind this. This is you guys have like fully, and then you said you're about to close your seed round. Do you have some of like those names that we recognize like backing you guys? Is there is like, you know, do you have like Borderless or Arrington or who's behind Alchemon? Who's helping?
Well, here's what I'll say is we did the Borderless Miami Accelerator. So Borderless, they got a small investment then, and I'll just say for now, we continued our talks with them. Won't announce anything until the paperwork is signed, which should be
Got it. Gotcha. Well, I mean, this is so cool. And all right, so the metaverse is coming, and that's got to be all you have to do is okay. That's what I was going to say when you're talking. I was just reading like if so, you know, where with the metaverse, right? You know, like so right now, really the way into any sort of metaverse is through an Oculus headset. Feels like that's what everybody feels. And then I was just reading today, I think Facebook or Meta is going to charge like 50% commission on all ads. That's like what a mess that is, which is pretty rich in the sense that I think they were on their high horse about Apple, and Apple also screws everybody, but they only do 30%. You know what I mean? And they're like, Facebook was one of the biggest critics of that, which is like, they're like, okay, now we've got the hardware, so we can, you know, what's a nice way to put it, but you know, take advantage of people. Like, how do you, now I'm thinking about the metaverse. How do you see the metaverse evolving so it can remain decentralized? Like we need, I guess, an HTC headset. Like we need other people to create better headsets and compete with them because it feels like they have a monopoly on this a little bit already. And if they're going to be charging 50% commission, that's so problematic for anybody trying to do something significant, right?
They're just they're building off of the creator economy and trying to stomp it out at the same time. It'll be real interesting to see what happens, but they'll definitely have their user share and their user base and stuff like that. But it'll
Yeah.
probably be more, unwillingly, it'll be a stepping stone into the real decentralized Web3 creator economy, which is what we have in the NFT space and things like that. So hopefully it will onboard a lot of people into
Yeah.
crypto, just in the wrong way, at which they start there and leave for the real deal, which is, what
Right.
people are
That's
building
true.
on crypto.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
actually.
what I hope happens.
Well, then that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that is what you I mean. Everybody's starting there because everybody's getting their Oculus for Christmas or whatever. They're like, I want to
Yeah.
play with the new toy. It starts with the new toy, and then you play the new toy, and it's pretty fun, right? Like
Yeah.
it's working. It's new. It's evolved. Like games are different. It feels more embodied, and then hopefully they're like, wow, then they hear about it and then they move on. But we will need other companies to provide that quality of a headset for a decentralized version of this, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure there will be, especially with what Facebook is announcing, and I know they're, you know, pouring tons of money into it, but there will definitely be competitors, open source and things like that. Even if it's just, even if the lesser of two evils is an open source Google, kind of like they have Android or something like that. I think there will be a less evil that will be accessible, hopefully.
Yeah, and then I mean, I guess in Facebook's defense, which is I don't like to, I think I've said that maybe never, but they've started out aggressive, and then I guess once they have competition, they'll be forced to probably drop those rates. So I mean, at some point,
Yeah, I can't imagine how they would do that.
I don't know
How they
All
would
right.
keep that 50% up. That's going to be wild if they are successful with that.
I mean, that's just like you said. It's basically using the creator economy to stomp it out, basically. And being like, okay, we own all of this. All right, Clifford. Well, anything else that that the community wants to know, that they're like, why isn't Cooper asking this? Like, come on. Like, can you? I don't know. Is there any alpha that they're all wishing that you would tell? I mean, I feel like we maybe covered that with the set 5, but and the community thing. Is there anything about there's going to be a community deck or set released?
That's right. That'll be the next release. We're hoping to see that soon. That's the alpha. The main alpha is, we've got backing. We don't have to grind out sales to keep funding ourselves. We're going to be here. We're going to be building. We're not going anywhere. We're going to make this, we don't have enough money to make this a AAA level game yet, but we're consistently going to be working towards that, better graphics, better animations, better everything. We're just going to be here building and making it better and providing a place for the community to come together and play some games and earn some tokens.
Awesome. So if anybody out there wants to buy some Alchemon, that you go to Rand? I mean, that's probably the place, right?
Yeah, you can first start out at our website at alchemon.net. There you can get to like the Discord. Our NFT store is up there in the nav bar. And you can kind of read about the game and read about the outside game and then download the game there as well.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have this chat. And, as things progress, if you are open to it, I'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, thanks. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Yeah, of course, man.